sometimes being on the safe side doesn't pay off. Disney is reevaluating its standards and practices following outrage over popular kids show Censorship. In other news, Disney has dropped a new trailer for Robert Zemeckis' Pinocchio. And what does Danny DeVito think of being recast as Philoctetes? And have you heard that Avatar is going back to theaters? But there's a catch. Want to know more? Let's dig in. First up, Disney is reevaluating its standards and practices following outrage over popular kids show Censorship. Bluey, the cartoon about the blue healer called Bluey, has fans in an uproar, which has prompted Disney Plus to reevaluate its decision to ban an episode of said cartoon. The guilty episode comes from Series 3 of the popular series and features the story of how Bluey's dad, Bandit, is accused of farting in Bluey's face. The episode opens with the blue healer pupper saying, "Dad blew off in my face," but Bandit denies that ever happened. Later in the episode, he admits that it's hard not to. Bluey's face is at bum level. Apparently, there was something about the episode that was too much for kids to be confronted with, according to Disney Plus. Bluey has an international following, so fans were quick to point out that there was an episode missing. At first, Disney-branded television didn't have anything to say about why they held back the offending episode, but it has since been confirmed that the episode simply breached Disney Junior's standards and practices. A spokesperson said that the episode, called Family Meeting, will roll out on the US platform soon, and that this is the perfect time to take the opportunity to reevaluate, and that's exactly what they have now promised to do. Following, Disney dropped a new trailer for the upcoming movie Pinocchio. Disney released a new trailer for the upcoming live-action movie directed by Robert Zemeckis, Pinocchio. At least a whole lot more of what to expect of Benjamin Evan Ainsworth as Pinocchio. The first teaser for Pinocchio came out in May and mostly showcased the setup of the world and the story, but the footage cut off just when Pinocchio was about to come alive. The new trailer offered a whole lot more information compared to the first teaser trailer. In it, we actually see the puppet come to life and in action, talking to a fox who appears to be a ringmaster of a circus, running around in the street, and even a pirate. And naturally, we see Pinocchio's nose grow, presumably after he told a lie. We also got to see a little more of the performance of Joseph Gordon-Levitt in the shoes of his Jiminy Cricket. And just in case you're confused, it's okay, there is actually another Pinocchio on the horizon, also from an amazing director and big-name actors. Looking at the trailers for both movies, the one directed by Guillermo del Toro, also named Pinocchio, will have a completely different feel than the one directed by Robert Zemeckis. Are you going to give them both a shot, or only one, or neither? Next up, Danny DeVito's response to the Hercules rumors. As you may have noticed, Disney has jumped on board and started pilfering its archives in search of golden classics to revive and remake them for live action. Many of these projects have seen talented original voices being recast, and ever since it became clear that there's a live action in the works for Hercules, fans pretty much unanimously agreed that Danny DeVito is still the only option for Philoctetes. But what does Danny DeVito himself have to say about possibly reprising his iconic role? Though The House of Mouse is still in the early development stages for the Hercules remake, fans are anxious to make clear what their wishes are, especially since the movie took a huge step forward a few months ago when director Guy Ritchie, who you'll recognize from his work on the live action of Aladdin, was hired to help the project. So, as we brace for any news on the casting for Hercules, DeVito recently answered some of the most popular Google questions about himself. One which obviously inquired about his possible involvement in the live-action movie. His reply, "I am the live-action Hercules. What are you talking about? Philoctetes, if they don't put me in that, they don't have a hair on their ass." Clearly, DeVito is not only up for the job, he'll be highly offended if Disney doesn't give him the job. Do you agree that he's the only option to portray Phil? Hold up, where do you think you're going? There's much more to come. Next, we'll talk about the return to theaters of Avatar, but there's a catch. D23 has announced the live stream event schedule for Marvel's Disney. And is Disney actually going to demolish the iconic Cinderella castle? Stick around until the end of the video to find out. Next, Avatar is returning to theaters. For those who are thinking about how great it would be to experience Avatar in 4K in theaters, now Avatar: The Way of Water is on the horizon. Good news! James Cameron's Avatar is returning to the big screen on the 23rd of September 2022, complete with a new 4K high dynamic range presentation. Unfortunately, there is a catch. In order to drum up as much anticipation as possible for the re-release of the original Avatar, the movie has been removed from the Disney Plus catalog temporarily. We could have known that would happen if Avatar would make it to theaters, given that Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather trilogy trilogy was also removed from Paramount Plus before the 50th anniversary theatrical run of the 4K restoration of the movies, after which they were neatly put back into the Paramount Plus catalog. In a similar matter, Disney will reportedly return the original Avatar to the Disney Plus catalog. Avatar: The Way of the Water will be released in theaters on the 16th of December 2022, and it's expected that the original Avatar will be available again on Disney Plus shortly after that. The sequel stars both original cast members like Giovanni Ribisi and Sigourney Weaver, as well as some new faces that will be prominently featured in several scenes that are set underwater, like Michelle Yeoh and Kate Winslet. Are you going to watch Avatar in the theaters again, or would it be your first time seeing it on the big screen? Following, the live stream event schedule for Marvel's Disney D23 Showcase has been announced. Marvel Studios' panel at San Diego Comic-Con was amazing, but that was really only the tip of the iceberg. Fans are expecting Marvel to deliver another round of announcements at the D23 Expo in Anaheim, California on the 23rd of September 2022. A lot of people are hoping that we'll get a little bit more information about those empty Phase 6 release slots. But aside from the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, D23 is also set to host a number of other Marvel panels, including a Disney and Marvel Games showcase, an opportunity to hear and learn about the music made for MCU shows and films, and a presentation celebrating 60 years of The Amazing Spider-Man. Sadly, not all panels will be available to watch from the comfort of your own home, but as to which panels that will be was unknown. Until now, D23 has finally shared some additional information about its upcoming slate of all Marvel-related panels, and fans of the MCU now know the D23 Expo festivities that will be available to follow through live streaming, and those that will be exclusive to those that were able to join in person. There seems to be a reasonable, even balance between what is and what isn't available through streaming, and we hope that everyone is excited for everything that will be revealed at D23 Expo. And now, is Disney replacing its iconic Cinderella castle? You've probably seen it come by on some of your socials. The rumor that Disney has plans to demolish the famous Cinderella castle. The rumor began its life on TikTok on the 22nd of August 2022 that Walt Disney World Resort had decided to demolish and remove Cinderella Castle shortly after the Orlando Park's 50th anniversary. The video originated from TikTok user Mousetrap News, and the narrator said that Cinderella Castle was set to be removed from Disney World, and the news came out of nowhere. But Disney and Disney Park fans have absolutely nothing to worry about because none of it was true. It was all a silly joke, written on a fun-filled satire Disney blog. But quite a few people didn't seem to understand the satire part, looking at the comments. But at the end of the video, watchers are invited to visit the Mousetrap blog on their website, mousetrapnews.com, for more details. A little bit more investigation reveals that the blog started on a whim, and it publishes news that is intentionally fake on purpose, which technically makes their slogan, "the most trusted name in Disney news," not true, but they decided to run with it anyways. Maybe give the blog a read. It's filled with similar imaginary stories about Disney parks, but don't take any of it too seriously. And that's all we've got for now. What do you think about Disney pulling an episode of a kids cartoon like Bluey because of strict rules? Was it just, or were they just taking it too far? Let us know in the comments what you think. And thank you for watching.